Welcome tonight to the throat chakra meditation. I have Allie and Annette here with me, so they will be chanting, helping create deeper chants with me tonight instead of just my voice. But tonight we are going to talk about the throat chakra. It's called Vishuddha in Sanskrit. I couldn't think of the word Sanskrit for a second. And that literally means the pure place. It's the bridge between our heart chakra, which we talked about last week, and our third eye chakra, our center of intuition, which we'll talk about next week. And it is our main center of communication. It presides over our will, our power of choice, our sense of truth. I remember when I first started hearing about or learning about chakras. I have two funny stories, actually. Well, one isn't really funny, it's just a story in general, but everyone always says that it's about speaking your truth, and I was like, what the hell does that mean? Like, people do not want to hear the truth. And that's where my funny story comes in. This is before I knew anything about chakras and energy, and I was I went to the PB massage school for a little, like, they do free events. They teach you about something, and then they give you a treatment. And so there was a ton of us there, and they gave a little lecture on chakras, and then they took us into this huge room, and we all laid down, and each of the students worked on us, and this girl, I could feel her, and I could feel like, it felt like she was choking me, and it also felt like my forehead and the top of my head were going to explode. And when she was done, she told me, you have a lot of energy, like, you have a lot of things in your head that you need to say and you need to speak. And then I was like, well, probably I do keep a lot of things in. And then that night I went out drinking with my friends, and I had this little obnoxious friend. Allie's looking at me trying to figure out who it is. And this little obnoxious friend, and she was always in my bubble. Like, she would sit on my lap. She was just annoying to me. She was always in my space, and I just went off on her that night, and I mean to. It just, like, blurted out of me, and I couldn't stop. And my friend was like, I think you opened your throat chakra tonight. But that's not a healthy way to do it. That's to not really understand what you're doing, and to say negative things. So tonight I want to talk more, obviously, about what it really means to speak your truth. Ahimsa is a yogic principle where it's nonviolence, and so ahimsa is something that should be practiced when you're speaking your truth. You don't want to be nasty and mean to people, but you also want to, when we talk about speaking our truth, we're really talking about speaking our passion, our will, and what we're here for, and what we're passionate about. So if our chakra is balanced, then we'll be able to express our beliefs. We'll be able to express our creativity really easily, and share our emotions without fear. And I think that is the key, is sharing the emotions without fear, because I personally swallow my emotions. I try not to. I'm working on that, but that's something I've done most of my life. And being able to, just deal with that fear and spit them out smoothly and gently, and express them healthily, I guess. So physically, that chakra is part of, obviously, your mouth and your throat, your esophagus, your ears, even anything in your neck going down into, like, your shoulders. It's your thyroid glands. So it could have an effect on, I believe it's your metabolism with your thyroid. So either hyper or hypothyroid, depending on which way it's balanced or imbalanced, or which way it's imbalanced, I guess. If it's over active or underactive. And then if it's imbalanced, some of the things that you may see are that you have a distorted ability to communicate. And I believe, I know it's funny for me to sit here and say as I'm doing this live Facebook thing, that I have a distorted ability to communicate, but really it's not for stuff like this. It's for my, more in an intimate relationship or my emotions. So it doesn't have to be across the board that is distorted. You may speak half or untruths, lies. You may not fully be living what you want to live. You may gossip a lot. You may hide your emotions. I'm pretty good at that. You may have blocked creativity. You may talk too much. And that's just the polar opposite of hiding your emotions or of not, wanting to share. You may also overeat or smoke or drink too much. Any of those things, anything that's going to come in your mouth, basically. And there could also, because it is related to your ears as well, could also have hearing problems. So, and that could, there could be a whole range of things like that if you're imbalanced. So just that's a little difference between things that could show up if you're imbalanced and then what it's like to be balanced. And basically, you want to just be able to express yourself and your creativity and your free will with kindness and compassion. And that obviously comes from your heart. And then the free will and your choice is going to come, and what you know deep within yourself comes from your third eye, and we will talk more about that next week. But that is the basics of the throat chakra. And the element related to the throat chakra is ether. And ether is basically limitless space. It's like the cosmos, the universe, the purest, most subtle element. And it is solely present in our throat chakra, but it is also present in all of our other chakras as well. So we talked about the root chakra being earth, but it also has elements of ether in it. It's primarily earth, but ether travels throughout our body, throughout all of the chakras. So I thought that was interesting. But tonight, then, what we will do for our meditation is, again, if you can stay seated for this one so that you're really able to, we're going to chant, and we're going to chant for all of the chakras that we've done so far, and we'll Om at the end, which are for the last two chakras. And we're going to do what's called seed sounds. So it's just one syllable sound, and there's a different one for each chakra center. We did last week the Yum for the heart, so we'll revisit that one again. And what I want to do, though, is start with a breath, and it's called bee's breath, and basically what we're doing is humming. So we'll do that in a minute. But before we start the whole meditation, I want to talk about one other little, subtle, small chakra that lies in between, basically at the base of your sternum. So in between, no, I'm sorry, not the base of your sternum, the top, right here, this little space, the base of your throat, where it's almost like it's that super, soft area where you don't want to poke into it. But that right before the top of your rib cage. So that area right there is a subtle energy center that is called the Kurma chakra, and that Kurma means tortoise. And that is basically that what happens when we focus on that chakra and when we're really trying to balance that chakra is it helps us to slow down. It's almost like how a turtle would go within and really go inside their shell and be able to almost hibernate for their safety. It's a way to unplug from your senses and really go within. So the meditation tonight will focus on the throat chakra because we're making sounds, but it will also, I'll guide you through focusing on that Kurma chakra, that tortoise chakra, because that's really going to help us just go within and unplug from everything. So find a comfortable seated position. I'm going to give you a couple of options for the bee's breath. The bee's breath is basically you're plugging your ears, and there are key marma points or trigger points that you can touch with your hands. But basically, if you think about how little kids, when they get overwhelmed, they plug their ears and they're and they make noises, right? Because they instinctively know that this is going to calm their system down. So if you ever get super overwhelmed or anxious, then this is a great one if you can walk away from people and take a moment to just do a couple of breaths like this. You don't have to get the finger holds right. Basically, what you have to do is plug your ears and hum. But the finger holds, for just since we're doing, it's like a mudra basically. You start with your pinkies right here in the crease of your nostrils, and then the rest of your fingers come up and touch up towards your brow. So basically up along your nose and then up toward your brow. And then your thumb will come and press onto your ear. So it looks like this. If I can get it right here. And your fingers don't have to be in the exact right spot because we all have different length and size fingers. Just get them somewhere near. But basically you're pressing on these key pressure points that help also release any pressure that you may have. This is really good if you have like sinus congestion too. Or you can just simply plug your ears with your fingers. So do it however you like. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, you're going to hum. So you're going to and with your ears plugged like that and your fingers on those key points, you'll feel vibration through your whole head and throat, and maybe even down into your shoulders and chest. We're going to do that 5 times. So get your fingers ready in the right spot, wherever that is for you, and take a deep breath and hum on your exhale. And just moving with your breath. When you're done, just gently releasing your hands. Take a moment and notice the sensations after that breath. Notice what is shifted or opened. Notice what may still be vibrating. And then gently close your eyes or look down towards the floor. Just pay attention to your breath and notice any other sensations within your body. And bring the palms of your hands down to the base of your pelvic bone, down to your root chakra. The sound for the root chakra is lum. So we'll chant that 3 times together. Let's take a deep breath in. Lam. And then moving your hands up to just below your belly button to your sacral chakra. The sound for your sacral chakra is VUM. Take a deep breath in. And then moving up to the middle of your abdomen, to your belly, to your solar plexus. The sound for your solar plexus is RUM. Let's take a deep breath in. And then moving up to your heart space. The sound for the heart chakra is YUM. Moving up to your throat, you can place both hands in the front or maybe even one on the back. And the sound for the throat chakra is HUM. Just take a deep breath in. And then moving up to your third eye and your crown, you can place your hands on your forehead and on the top of your head. You can place your thumbs and fingers in the bottom of your palms together on top of your forehead. So it looks like a lotus flower rising up, whatever's comfortable for you. And the sound for the third eye is OM, and oftentimes for the crown chakra as well, or just silence for the crown chakra. So we will chant OM 3 times and then sit in silence for a moment. So take a deep breath in. Begin to bring your awareness down to that space just below your throat, above your heart. Bring your awareness down there to that Kurma chakra, the tortoise. Allow yourself to go within and unplug. Find that little space, your shell to be safe within. Where you can feel and sense only yourself. And then take a deep breath in and imagine yourself emerging from that shell within. Gently bringing your head out and your arms and your legs. Gently bringing your awareness back into your body. Take another deep breath in with an open mouth exhale. And then flutter your eyes open. And note any sensations that you had when you went within or as you chanted. And pay attention to those sensations and thoughts And then I encourage you to, I'm going to tell you about 2 more breaths that are really good for your throat, basically, and good for releasing. My favorite is the bees, though, because it just vibrates and opens up everything. But we have, so I encourage you to breathe more consciously, and then also to sing in the shower. I was telling my friend the other day what a creative space the shower actually is, because I do so much in there. I have the best freaking ideas, first of all. And then I sing and I dance, which is not something I do in front of many people, but in the shower, it's like no one's there, and it's just that water cleansing over me. And I was like, we need to get like artist stuff going in there, like paints and crayons and stuff. Only make that for like kids, right? I'm gonna get some in there because I get some creative stuff going in the shower. But sing is the whole point of that shower story. Sing or chant these chants like we did tonight. Hum if you're not comfortable with singing. But the 2 other breaths that I wanted to show you were, the first one is called Ujjayi breath, and if you take yoga classes, you probably have heard a yoga teacher saying to, breathe your Ujjayi breath. And basically what that is that you're breathing in through your nose and you're constricting your throat. So as you breathe out, it almost sounds like that oceanic, like a wave coming out of your nose. It's all both in and out of your nose. So breathing in, constricting your throat slightly as you breathe out. And I'm not sure if you can hear me, but hopefully you can hear that within your own head. That slight constriction, just giving that throat a gentle cleanse. And the second one is lion's breath. And I know this is Allie's favorite. So lion's breath is a very expressive one. And typically you do it, especially when you're doing like chest opener poses and stuff. But basically what you do is you take a deep breath in and you open your mouth nice and wide and stick out your tongue and just like let it out. And whatever sounds come out, let those come out. You ready? Okay. So take a deep breath in, and then let it out. Stick your tongue out. Let's do that 2 more times. One more time. Allie's so good at it. Okay, so that's basically it for tonight. Chant and observe the silence. Oh, Owen's like glowing in the light over here. Thanks for holding space, home dog. And then I wanted to, I haven't read the cards. I'm going to read Shauna's card. This is the throat chakra print from Adelaide. I went and picked this up today, and it's amazing. Down here it says truth, and it's got all these symbols, and I love this, like, coming out of the mouth. And I also love, up at the top, there's, like, musical stuff going on, and this little dude just, like, Wah! So, one of my favorite things about that little painting, art by Adelaide. And then chakra cards by Shauna. The first one I want to read is, it actually says truth on it. And it says, freedom exists when we release ourselves from the untruths that barricade our mind. Who are you? What do you want? What untruths are holding you back from this place of freedom? Exaggerations or blatant lies become habitual in our life so much that they become a place of comfort, protecting us from dealing with the realities that define all that we truly are. It can be uncomfortable confronting your realities, especially if we are so far deeply locked up behind the bars of many lies. So step out from your jail cell, break free to truth. Truth. And the other one says speak. And this one says, buried under the fear are the words, your words, that have the power to change the world. Regardless of the topic and regardless of the audience, each word you speak influences the ears who hear it, including your own. Use this power kindly. Speak. The world wants to hear your words. I think that speak also means write, like writing, physically writing words. So we may not verbally say it, but we can also write it. So what I just read from this card holds true with that. And basically we want to speak our truth with compassion and kindness. Thanks for joining me tonight.